Okay, what you're looking at here is the new $100 bills. This one is the front side, this is the back side. Over here we have the old ones. Now, I was reading, there's some pretty weird stuff, like tinfoil hat kind of stuff on the internet about these. And it is kind of interesting. What they've done, this particular part here is what concerns me most, because it's this holographic security strip, but part of it is it's metallic paint. And the same with this and this here, and this too, they're metallic paints. Now, years ago, I know I used to run into a problem where if I bought this pipe tobacco in a certain store, when I went into a different store, it would set off the alarms, when you walk through them metal detector kind of things. Now, I've heard that these new bills have been setting off alarms in certain stores. So I think they do have some of that radio frequency ID stuff embedded in them. And a lot of other countries have done that. So it's not too surprising. But I just find it, I've heard things that even that they're listening to you, and they wouldn't be that. It's a passive type thing. But I think there is something going on with them. I think they're trying to find a way with this of tracking that bill. So, like, say, if you walk by a detector, it would be able to tell if you had like 10 of them in your pocket, it would show up on their detector. Whereas these old ones, they're completely neutral. Though I've heard rumors about $20 bills blowing up in a microwave, so they've maybe been doing it on all of the newer bills. But like I say, other countries have done this for quite some time. So it doesn't surprise me. It concerns me a little. And I will make a point of, moving these babies pretty quick and hang on to the old style. But I just find it interesting. I think they are tracking. They don't admit to tracking them. But I'm pretty sure they are. The technology is there. They have every reason to want to do it. So I can't see why they wouldn't be doing it. I think there's just that radio frequency ID thing. I think that's all there is to it. But still, that's bad enough. I don't particularly care for that idea. And they always claim, it's to stop counterfeiting and that sort of nonsense. But that really isn't the deal. Not as much as that they just really want to know if you're doing a lot of cash transactions. And I tend to do most of my stuff in cash. The only thing I use electronic payments for is stuff that I have to do online. Otherwise, it's always done in cash. But I find it interesting. And something to be a little bit concerned about. But I think it's to the point where, if I had like 10 of those, I'd want to put them in an old potato chip bag. Those Mylar bags, I think they'd kill that radio frequency thing. But we're kind of getting into tinfoil hat area. But, as you've undoubtedly noticed, they tend to be there. A lot of that tinfoil hat stuff isn't just nonsense. A lot of times there's some truth to it. But, like I say, there's, holograph there, textured printing on here, and on here, and on here. Your pictures on the back are interesting in that they're the same building, but this one has got a different front on it. And there's a monument out front, and on the old one there wasn't. I don't know what's going on with that. But this security nonsense is what concerns me more. It would be interesting to run almost any sample you're going to do is going to destroy it. But I'd be curious. Like I say, there's been people I saw where somebody did it with the $20 bills in a microwave, and they were blowing up a certain portion of the bills. So they had something in those. So I could bet, this metallic ink that they're using, I think if you put it in a microwave, it would blow. But like I say, I'm pretty sure they're setting them up so they can track them. That's the only real answer there. But, they're out now. So I would be a little concerned about it. My biggest fear would be is if all of a sudden, their idea now is to pull these back gradually, get rid of the old ones and put the new ones in, to prevent counterfeiting. But these are still going to be legal currency for now. And I think the life expectancy of these is like 15 years. But eventually their plan is to replace them all with these. And I think there's a reason behind that. I thought, like I say, if you walked into a place that had a pocket full of them, or a briefcase full of them, I think you'd show up real quick. And so I was thinking really what a guy should do is make an app for the phone that would detect that radio frequency. It would be really great for like muggers. You could scan a crowd and pick out the guy who's carrying the money instead of just going at random. And I would think Google would be working on this, so I'll have to get on her fast because that's right up Google's alley. You could pin the advertising to the guy who's carrying a pocket full of $100 bills. But for muggers, this would be great too. So, if I don't get around to it, somebody else have to get at that. Make a app for an Android phone that scans for that code.